movie gonna be called?
What do you think it should be called?
It's like One Armed Bandit? I don't know.
Why One Armed Bandit?
This is me trying to do the same thing with this hand. That's pretty good. I like that.
My name's Bobby Halverson, and I'm a theater artist, playwright at DePaul University in Chicago, Illinois.
These are my plays that I have.
These are just your plays.
These are just my plays. I think I have a few more at home. I have another shelf at home of plays. I try and keep them all together. This is the dramatist play service section of my collection. Pus, like emerging from like that's the liquid that the play is. It's just like pussy liquid, and I love that. That's my aesthetic. Pus and blood and gutty and fish guts. Here's how I collect plays, and I think that it really shows with like the type of people I have. Is I try and find when I go to places, I try and find plays by people I've never heard of before, because the probability that I will ever see them again is very slim.
How many books here have you actually read?
40%.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. I think I've read most of those. I sometimes come over here and I will just touch them when I'm stressed, and I swear to God, it makes me feel better. Like I just touch my place and I start breathing again. It's amazing. I love it so much. I literally just like stroke them like a cat, like a dog I don't have. And I think that, you know, my goal, which I've accomplished at this point, but will never stop, because you'll see me at the bookstore in a little bit. But my goal is to collect as many books as I can sustain me for my lifetime, so I always have something to reach to until the day I die. And I think I've done that at this point, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to read every single book I have. I think I have over 1,000 books, and I'm really not going to ever run out of books, because I'm sure half the books I own, I have no, like, once I start reading them, I'll be like, this is garbage. But at least I have it. Like, that's beautiful. And that's also part of the reason I want it.
Do you think you'll ever read that book?
No. Probably not.
But you're still going to buy it?
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. Oh, frick. It's an obsession. It's I can't control it. It's really bad. This book is $1. Everywhere else it's $1 million. So I need this.
Right. Put it on top.
Oh my God. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 38.
It's 28? Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard.
Now comes the hard part, where I have to decide if I'm going to spend $20
On books.
on books.
That you may never read.
Yeah. $6, $7, $8, $9, $10.
You also have another pile.
Yeah.
There's also this one.
18, 20, 22, 24.
So you lost 12,
Yes.
which was $6.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Okay, great.
All right, so 11.
So, all right. And then I think these
Those were maybes.
are maybes. I think these are all going to be nosies. What else am I supposed to spend my money on?
Food. Can I ask you how you got into theater?
Sure. I took these classes when I was really little, and I had a great time in them. Well, okay. I actually have a longer story about it. So I couldn't play sports because I have cerebral palsy, and so things like sports and like physical activities really I've never been good with, because I'm just not physically capable of doing all that. So I think that I predispose myself more towards writing and kind of like the arts, where you have to think and it's a cognitive thing. I have to go to therapy while other kids get to go out and play. And I think that that's true, that like I had to take care of myself. Even though I didn't want to, I went to therapy for like 2 hours every week. From the time I was like a baby until like probably 10th grade. You know, you'd have on and off weeks. It wasn't consistent, but you know, I did that every week, and I think that there's a certain sense of what I can and can't do. Like sports, for instance. And I think I self-isolated myself because of that. So I lived I didn't have a lot of extracurriculars, I think, because of my cerebral palsy, and I felt very alone. And there came a point in 8th grade where I realized everybody around me was doing after-school activities and were friends, and I didn't have anybody. And so then my freshman year of high school, I auditioned for a play and made friends through that. And then I started doing it more. It really just feels like the right move, the right thing. I asked my dad one time if it ever gets any better, meaning if, like, you know, we figure out what we're supposed to do, or we figure out how to be stable, and he said no. And I went, great. So that made me feel a lot better, actually, to know that this 60-year-old man was also just as confused as I was. But that's how I got into theater.